What's going on, all my new, current, and future rideshare drivers and passengers out there? Welcome back to the #1 most viewed rideshare channel on YouTube. Before I get started, if this is your first time here and you enjoy the content, don't be shy, smash the subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell icon. That way, hopefully, YouTube will notify you when I come out with new videos. If you want to sign up to become an Uber driver with a bonus guarantee automatically applied, use the link in the description below. If you're already an Uber driver and somehow you forgot to do that because, hey, you just didn't know about it or didn't know anybody to use their code, you may still be in luck. Follow the instructions in the description below and potentially get one applied today. Now, with all that said, today's video we are talking about the potential end of Surge. That's right, guys. This ain't no joke at all. No clickbait. This could actually happen. And for pretty much all drivers out there, that's a really bad thing. Because let's face it, guys, a lot of times, drivers only come online or go to a certain area if it's surging. So, if they're not going to be making that extra money, where's that motivation to get up and go out there, right? It's gone. Now, I will put this article in the link below. I'm not going to read it all because I'm sure you don't want to hear me read it all anyways. But this is something to be looking out for. It says, this case will decide if Uber's surge pricing is illegal. So, we better hope it's not. 4 years have passed since an antitrust lawsuit was first filed against Uber. It still has the potential to disrupt the company's business model. So this lawsuit's been going on since before I even joined. And that's crazy. Next month, a company-appointed arbitrator will hear arguments on whether surge pricing is in violation of antitrust law. The result of the trial could make or break Uber's already unsustainable business model. Well, they've been somehow still making it for the last 9 years. Now, this is important. Surge pricing is a core feature of Uber that lets an algorithm optimize peak demand periods. Uber claims surge pricing increases driver supply, but researchers say the feature serves to redistribute existing supply while pricing out some customers and prolonging driver shifts. Now, this is like a double-edged sword, because technically it is true. If drivers are already out there and you see it surging, odds are you're going to go that way, even though it's highly recommended you don't chase the surge for the simple fact of it would disappear by the time you got to it. But needless to say, drivers are still doing it. And I have to be on Uber's side for the one part that they said when it says Uber claims surge pricing increases driver supply. Yes, it does, because that's the whole fact of where I said drivers may only drive when it is surging out there. Some drivers sit there and just wait. If it's surging, then they'll get up and go out there and try to make that money. If it's not, they don't waste their time because in a lot of markets, the rates aren't worth a lot of drivers driving. It says, while Uber has changed the feature multiple times over the years, which they have, went from the multiplier to the flat surge, it still seems to negatively impact drivers and passengers. If surge pricing is found to be illegal, Uber could lose its ability to control the pricing of rides, the distribution of driver supply, and the consumption patterns of riders. Which, it's technically true. In 2015, a Connecticut Uber rider sued Uber co-founder and then CEO Travis Kalanick, alleging that Uber was engaging in price fixing. Now, this is where things get important, guys. When a group of businesses agree to charge the same price for a good or service, this is price fixing. In Uber's case, its drivers are considered contractors who operate as independent businesses, and Uber ultimately determines the price that those contractors charge for their services, which is totally true. And that is a big argument on why drivers say, well, if we are independent contractors, then treat us like independent contractors. We should be able to choose our own prices. And I do strongly agree with that. We should be able to charge exactly what we want, but that would definitely make more competition. But that's how it technically is supposed to work. And that is why drivers get mad, because now they drop the rates and they still want the same thing to happen. They still want drivers to go out there and pick up passengers. But if it's not surging or anything, there's not much incentive to go do it. And if you keep dropping the rates, drivers aren't going to go out there at all. It says, this has always been simple case, said the lawyer who filed the original federal district court action back in late 2015. Uber wants to have it both ways. They want to have their cake and eat it too, just like a lot of drivers kind of going on right now. But it says, by both ways is referring to Uber's argument that it simply has a platform that matches drivers to their clients, riders, while setting prices for the rides. Well, that is what they do. They do match us, but they also set the price. Uber says its drivers are independent contractors, but Uber drivers do not compete against each other on price. When they surge prices, they do so in unison, something that could not happen without Uber's coordination, which is true. I mean, we wouldn't know it's surging out there unless the app tells us it's surging. And they're saying, is that price fixing? And they think yes, which I guess it kind of is, considering we're not choosing anything, okay? Only thing you have the option to do is turn that thing on or turn it off. That is it. Other than that, Uber does control everything that happens. And then it talks about the case, which we won't go into all that. Dun, dun, dun. If Uber doesn't have control of its own prices, then drivers really get to set the prices, and it opens drivers up to other workplace structures. Drivers can use the price to get control over the things too, saying, we'll agree to this price if you do X, Y, and Z, if you share proceeds from data with us, or if we co-own the data. Uber loses control over everything if they lose control over the price, which is totally true. Without them being able to control the price, then the only thing they can control really is if they deactivate you or not. An Uber spokesperson said, we are confident the law is on our side and look forward to the hearing in this case so that we can put plaintiff's unsupported theory to rest once and for all. I am curious to see how this is all going to go down, but personally, I do not want surge to go away unless they're going to let us be able to choose our own prices. That is the only way that would make any sense, because if it's not surging out there at all, like I said, a lot of drivers aren't going to have any incentive to go out there and actually drive. And it even talks about California's AB 5 bill not only threatens to reclassify Uber drivers from independent contractors to employees in the state, but to inspire other states and cities to follow suit. And that's what we're talking about, guys. Things that are happening in California could potentially affect the rest of the country. It says if its drivers are reclassified from contractors to employees, it could add over $500 million in additional labor costs to Uber's already negative cash flow, which if they stop paying their CEOs and everything millions of dollars and all these stupid autonomous vehicles, they may have some extra money. And it says there might be a bright side to all this for Uber. If surge pricing is found to be illegal, then there would be no question that Uber is a marketplace simply matching riders to drivers that set their own price, which they would get in trouble for. They would finally get in trouble for that. And the question I want to bring to everybody is that, will that be good for drivers or not? Okay, to me personally, I want surge, okay? And if they're going to get rid of it completely, then we should be able to choose our own fares, choose our own prices for everything, and yeah, make it an actual competition. Yes, will that kind of be like the taxi services? Probably, but you know what? That's pretty much what they've been doing forever. And if we are independent contractors, that is technically how we should be out there doing. We should be able to compete and get clientele and everything else. And of course, you know, Uber's always going to take a cut because we're technically using their platform and they're dispatching these rides to us. Now, some could argue that they don't want surge to go away for other reasons, which there's plenty of reasons out there. Technically, there is no right or wrong, at least in my book, but I know damn well if they're going to get rid of surge, it's going to piss off a lot of drivers. They need to either raise the rates or do something else. They need to change a bunch of things to make this beneficial to drivers. Because otherwise, I see lots of drivers quitting. I really do. Some other markets right now are just starting to get the flat surge, while Uber still continues to charge the passengers a multiplier surge. And that pisses a lot of drivers off. Because Uber is still making way, way more and taking way, way more at the same time. Like it said in the beginning there, you can't have your cake and eat it too and expect everything to be rainbows and sunshines. It just doesn't work like that. Well, if you agree with me that you want some surge, you want to keep surge, or you want to be able to choose your own prices, give this video a thumbs up. As always, check the description below for extra information and tips. You keep doing your thing, you stay safe out there, use common sense, and until next time, guys, Uber on or don't, while surge lasts. Peace out.